Guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to change the way the world eats. My name is Shurina. I'm a certified nutritionist, health, nutrition, and productivity coach. And these days, more than not, I work specifically with entrepreneurs and small teams with big, bold visions and no time to waste, helping them to optimize their brain performance through lifestyle and nutrition to deliver their best work on demand consistently. So that's what I do now. And guys, today is Monday and it's the best time to think about best performance. You have a whole week ahead of you, and the last months of 2021 to think about how you can deliver your best performance and surprise even yourself with the quality of results and the progress that you are able to make. Like, surprise yourself, ruminate or think about this today. How can you deliver results that are more meaningful, that move the needle forward in a bigger way this week and this last months of 2021? That, I don't know about you, but it definitely was a special year with all the COVID madness and then traveling from London to Mexico and thinking about residency here and completely changing my business. A lot of things happened. But no matter what's happening in your business, in your life, guys, you always want to be your best, don't you? And you want to kind of start thinking more about long term. So today, let's take just today. Whenever you do something, ask yourself this question. Is what I'm doing right now with my lifestyle, with my nutrition, with my sleep, with my movement practice, is what I'm doing, is what I do today and every day, does it contribute in a positive way to my long term? Or does it give me something today, but then steals from something tomorrow? Like, let's say you finish your day with a few drinks every night, but then the next day, you know that your morning is not at all where you want it to be. For somebody, it's the morning, but then also usually it lasts actually for a day. And then the same day you finish again with a drink and then you lose again, like at least half a day, right? Does it really contribute to your long-term, not just performance, but also well-being and satisfaction with what's happening in your career, in your business, but also in life? Because alcohol, let's stop talking about alcohol. But you always want to think about that. Does it give me something today and then contributes to something better tomorrow? Or does it steal my tomorrow a little bit? So think about it. And then the most important topic of today that I wanted to touch upon was basics first. Guys, I gave a few workshops last week about focused brain nutrition and lifestyle. And from some more advanced people, I get a lot of questions about nutrition. Like, isn't this food better? Maybe plant-based options are better for protein, or maybe these foods are better for, magnesium or calcium, instead of what's advertised like dairy products, right? For calcium, still the most effective source to deliver calcium into your body. But anyhow, I get a lot of these different questions about, is this really better? Should you go low carb, high carb? A lot of very specific questions. And people ask me, why didn't you talk about this or that, more advanced concept? And I always try to explain to people that basics first. Guys, if your diet today is, let's say, some bagel or croissant or breakfast cereal for breakfast, for lunch you have some questionable sandwich, and for dinner you have a piece of pizza or some ordered pasta dish with a lot of sauce and God knows what else. If that is your diet today, breakfast cereal, sandwich, and pizza, then your next step is not vegan, organic, and keto, and thinking about all the biohacks and intermittent fasting. That is not your next step. You're not gonna teach someone to do some pirouettes in their car if they are a beginner driver or just want to get their driving license. Or if, let's say, you decided to teach someone what you're super good at, maybe illustration, maybe web design, maybe social media marketing. You're not going to be giving them advanced concept and talking about this specific way to add your hashtags to not super popular, not super niche. You start talking about something more basic. I don't know, title, video with good lighting so people actually see it. I'm surprised how many content creators still don't understand the importance of people actually being able to see you clearly in the video. But anyhow, guys, the most important concept or thought to think about today, and not just for nutrition or lifestyle, but in all areas of your life. Where are you personally? Are you a beginner or someone who consistently practiced? And I want to stress this word or underline it in our heads many, many times. Who consistently practiced. Not just thought about it. I have a lot of people who read a lot and they're like, well, I know about keto, I know about intermittent fasting, I know about this and that. And then I ask the question, but how much of that do you actually practice? Or have you practiced over the last, let's say, 3 months? If you know about intermittent fasting and all the advanced concept, but how much of that you actually do? Or if you know all about sleep, how much of that do you actually do? Because the proficiency, quote unquote, is not defined by what you know. It's defined by what you do and the experience in your life that you went through, right? If you are an expert, that means you did a lot of things. And the same with nutrition, the same with lifestyle, the same with sleep, the same with anything. It's not what you know. You can read a ton of self-development books, but if you are a total ass in your life and with other people, then I'm sorry, but you are not an expert on any of those concepts that you write about. The same with nutrition. Yeah, you might read all of the nutrition books and you might be a nutritionist, a dietitian, and all these things. But if you barely practice any of that, then you are not an expert. You do not have any experience. And again, if your diet today, legitimately, if that's where you are today more often than not, if your diet is again cereal, sandwich, and pizza with some alcohol drinks, your next step is not, again, trying to worry about going vegan and at the same time keto and then at the same time doing intermittent fasting, some advanced protocols that you heard from Ben Greenfield or Dave Asprey or whoever it is you decide to follow, right? We need to be a little bit we need to have a little bit more humility. Again, with your work, you wouldn't suggest a complete beginner to get to your level and start learning from there, right? So the same with nutrition. And that's why when I talk to people and I bring some tools to my workshops, most of the people are at the base level. They are beginners. It took me more than 10 years now, actually just talking about my personal practice, 20 years plus, right? To get to the level where I am right now, where I've been practicing what I preach and adding on top of them the latest science for years and months. And that's why compared to a lot of experts, I actually have much better quality of advice because I actually lived through that, didn't just read about it or talked about it, right? And so that's why also at my workshops, I deliver basics and helping people to focus more on the doing part, not on the knowing part. And then the second aspect of that, guys, now, yeah, you might say but everyone is talking about vegan or organic or low carb, but you also want to understand that the science is not there yet. Now, we have scientific evidence of the fact that eating processed carbs like pizza or croissants or desserts and sugary drinks, having that on a regular basis will make your brain health and performance worse. We have actual science confirming that, no doubt about that. We know that fried foods also damage your brain and brain performance and your mental and physical health. We also know that certain ingredients, like nitrates or nitrates, different preservatives, the more the person has them in their diet, the more their health and performance suffers. We know that. Now, with individual ingredients, it's a little bit more complicated, but we know that the more processed food ingredients are in your meals, the worse you're gonna do on your health indicators and on your mental and physical performance, right? That we know. We know that if you don't sleep well, you're gonna suffer. It is confirmed. It is not questionable. We know that we have 30 plus essential nutrients. Now, you can say, but I eat spirulina, it has this and that. But when it comes to things like that, there are very few studies about certain so-called superfoods. But we do know that if you don't eat your calcium or you don't get your vitamin D, you're going to suffer sooner than later. So there is a difference between science and good to haves. Now, going vegan or going keto or doing a lot of intermittent fasting, some people think the more the better. Science is not there yet at all. We have very little to no actual studies done confirming long-term benefits of that, right? And that's where you want to draw the line, where you want to be able to distinguish between your priorities and good to have someday, maybe when we have better science, right? So there is science again, and there is something that people talk about. And usually what makes the news is not the science, saying that, we know that, looking at people who are in great health in their 80s and 90s, they have this eating pattern, and they're not even talking about diets. They're talking about eating patterns, like eating more vegetables, eating your good quality protein sources, your healthy fats that are essential, your vitamins and minerals, right? We know that these people, when they eat, they seem to be in great health. Now, it's very hard to make a great article that's going to be clicked many times from that, right? It's easier to say, eating more butter going to help you to lose weight and going to make you into a Superman. Now, that is easier to make and a clickable blog post, right? But again, you want to make sure first, number one, basics first. If your diet is breakfast cereal, sandwich, and pizza, and some booze, at the end of the day, then your next step is not vegan, organic, and keto, and you don't need to worry about that. And the second point is where science is and what people talk about on the internet, two different things. And so when it comes to basics, you want to practice things that are actually confirmed by science, not by some health guru that you admire for one reason or the other. There are a lot of people who have a lot of great advice to offer, but also a lot of people who get carried away with their advice, giving you advice that is on the side of good to have, not the actual science. Like with the case when it comes to keto, for example, right? Or going entirely plant-based. That being said, I think here I actually want to stop. And the only practical advice that I want to give you today is start with the basics, right? Figure out what's the next action step for you from where you are, not from some ideal place in the future. And I usually recommend everyone to start with breakfast. Start with the meal that either the easiest to transform or causes the most problems in the future. Like, for example, if your dinner is really messed up and the next day, every morning you wake up and you have to spend several hours just to getting back into your normal state, then probably maybe start with dinner and try to make it better so your mornings are more on fire, more energized, and you're more ready to go, right? But if it feels too overwhelming, maybe start with breakfast. So the point is, get back to the basics and start one meal at a time. So let's say your breakfast today is your breakfast cereal or some cookie with some sugary coffee or tea drink, maybe some frappuccino or bubble tea. So that's where you can make the most difference, the easiest. And by the way, guys, breakfast actually has this primacy factor for it. So basically what it means is the more nutritious the beginning of your day is, the better your brain gonna work for the rest of the day, and the better choices you're gonna make for the rest of the day. And that's gonna affect the quality of your lunch and dinner, and also the quality of all of your work and life decisions. So that's why changing breakfast is so powerful. And breakfast, by the way, can happen at any time of the day. Like if you are into fasting and have been doing it for a while, like myself, more than 6 years now, then you might start eating at 11, 12 p.m., whatever that, does the job for you. Breakfast, the idea is the first meal of the day. It doesn't matter when it happens. So breakfast. So instead of now of like some, again, cookie and sugary drink or a croissant or a breakfast cereal, maybe this the week you're gonna start with some fresh fruit, berries, some Greek yogurt, or skyr, that is Scandinavian kind of yogurt with more protein. Greek yogurt also usually has more protein than other kinds of yogurts, right? Maybe a couple of eggs, or maybe even a piece of salmon to make your brain super happy. Or you might have scrambled eggs or tofu scramble with a lot of vegetables. Maybe you like more savory breakfast. Maybe, although I'm not a huge fan of liquid nutrition for many reasons, one of which is digestion starts in the mouth and we need to chew our food. But if you are a smoothie person, maybe eliminate a lot of added sugars, or making it fruit smoothie, make it a green smoothie. That's the kind of smoothie that actually the best for the brain and nutritionally much more dense and better for you. So add a couple of bunches of spinach in that blender, add some maybe mango and or banana to sweeten it up, some blueberries that are super amazing for the brain, some yogurt for protein or some protein powder, some cacao powder, maybe even some nuts and seeds at the end to make it crunchy and make you chew it more, right? There are many options, and usually breakfast is so much easier to transform. In a case of scramble, if you don't want to do it every day, maybe you decide to order it, or maybe you make a lot of scramble for 2-3 days in a row. Food can stay in your fridge for a few days, and it's better than having again some bagel or breakfast cereal, even if it's not fresh. Think about it, and again, start with basics and start one meal at a time. And also start with science, not with the next fad diet that rarely tells you all the details you actually need to know to make it successful long term. And that's all that I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you found it very useful. It made you think in a little bit better way about your lifestyle, nutrition, and changes, self-improvements you want to do in your life in general. Start with the basics. Start where you are, not where you see yourself being in ideal future in 5 to 10 years, right? Start where you are and work your way from there. You already do it in your professional area, so do it in your other areas because it works. Share this episode with many other people so they also start working towards a better future as adults, meaning starting where we are and then one step at a time working our way towards our goals, our future selves, our better health. Stay tuned. By the way, I'm speaking at a couple of events. If you're interested, check out my Instagram for the links and details. Digital Nomad Week is happening for the next 3 days. Then also Creative Mornings workshop. This is a worldwide community of creatives around the world. And I'm going to be talking about the best lifestyle nutrition for the creative brain, and also how to jumpstart your best performance with some routines as a digital digital nomads. So a lot of exciting stuff. Again, check out my Instagram for all the links. Guys, stay tuned. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And till next time, as usual, eat better daily.